привет, привет, здорово, здорово, привет. С вами снова я. Алан. Алан, вставай.
If the pain gets any worse or you experience any other symptoms, you should come see me. I'll let you get on with it then. Sarah, Sheriff...
Сойдет. Это у нас сойдет.
Waiting for you. She's very good at her job. I'm sure she can locate your wife in no time.
Doc Nelson was the image of a small-town doctor. Sheriff Breaker had called him to the station to take a look at the cut in my head. I'm sorry you had to cut your morning fishing short for this, Doc.
Oh, she's a beauty, ain't she? Not the biggest I ever caught, if you can believe that coming from an old fisherman like me, but she's right up there.
Алан. Алан. Wake up. Алан. Да, давайте уже
I believe you'll
идти.
find the sheriff in her office. Just go down the corridor.
Пс. Ты чё?
Thank you for testing the lights, Miss Weaver. Everything seems to be fine.
I don't have the luxury of being complacent, Deputy Grant. The bulbs will need changing soon. You can't change them in...
Yeah, it's Mulligan here. I'm at Stucky's gas station with Thornton.
Very good.
There's no sign of him.
I'll come back later.
Термос сюда, термос. Страницу сюда, страница.
Mr. Wake, the sheriff is waiting for you in her office down the corridor. That was Cynthia Weaver. I guess you can call her the town eccentric. She used to be the editor of the local newspaper, but she's focused on, other things these days.
Что там она еще сказала? Нет, все больше ничего не говорит. Тут нет ничего.
The sheriff wants to see you in her office, Mr. Wake.
Вроде у нас после каждой главы оружка
Come in,
забирают,
Mr.
поэтому
Wake.
нет
Your
смысла
phone's on the
ее
desk. The
хранить.
battery was dead. It's charged now.
Насколько я понял, да. Нет смысла.
Have you started looking for my wife yet?
My men are already on it. Now, can you tell me what happened?
I'm not sure. I can't remember. We were arguing. I walked out of the cabin.
The cabin on Cauldron Lake? How did you end up at Stucky's gas station?
I wanted to tell her what had happened last night, but I couldn't. She'd lock me up. Excuse me. I need to take this.
Сюда неизвестный номер.
Alan, please help me.
Alice?
Stop talking to the law. You'll do exactly what I say if you ever want to see your wife again.
Who is this?
Go to the back lot. There's a hole in the fence on the left. Look inside the junker. I left a little something there to convince you we're all on the same page here. After you ditch the cops, you're gonna meet me in Elderwood National Park. There's a spot called Lover's Peak. Midnight. Don't do nothing stupid, pal. We're watching you.
Надо кое-что проверить. Вроде бы нормально. Я повысил звук игры. Вроде должно быть лучше. Go. Go.
Mr. Wake, can I help you with anything?
I need to get some air. The sheriff said I could go out back.
Of course,
Еще раз я
Mr. Wake.
хочу проверить. Подождите. Вроде нормально.
Just don't mind Walter in there. He's one of our regulars.
I thought he quit drinking for good.
Oh, no such luck. He went on a bender.
I
and
couldn't
beat
go
Danny
anywhere
really
yet.
badly.
I had
He
to play
started
along with the
shouting
caller.
like that the moment he
Alice's
woke up.
life was at stake.
Задняя стоянка, это, блин, там.
You can get to the back lot through that
Вот.
door and down the corridor, Mr. Wade.
Тут.
Hey,
Тут.
mister! Hey, can you turn the light? The light's on! The deputies, they don't understand. They won't listen to me. I need it to be bright in here. Thank you, man, thank you. Hey, you're all right. You're a good guy. Don't let anybody tell you different. You know, I shouldn't even be in here. The cops, they got it all wrong. See, sure, I beat him up, but I wasn't drunk. I mean, I wasn't drunk at the time. I only got drunk afterward. Okay, listen. You gotta listen carefully now. Here's the kicker. That wasn't Danny. No, sir. It only looked like him. You wanna know who it really was? I'll tell you who it really was. It was a goddamn space alien! I know it sounds like something a drunk would say, but believe me, I wasn't drunk then.
Короче, ясно, мне быстрее надо найти фонарик Бога. Мне нужен только фонарик
The
Бога
early
и
morning
хотя
light
бы
hurt my eyes and made
револьвер.
me headache. The man on the phone had said, go through the fence on the left.
Well, folks, it's been another long night, and it's about time for you to sign off.
Ну вот, осматриваю, чего.
Let's save it for the party and leave the gunplay for the shooting competition. It's all worked up yet.
Мне надо как-то
The
туда
caller had told
попасть.
me to find a
Да-да.
hole in the fence behind the police station. There was something for me in an abandoned car.
Дровограде, это вот это что ли, да?
Alice's driver's license had been placed on the front seat. The caller meant business.
Barry? Ow! Ow! Thank God! Where the hell have you been? I've been trying to reach you for a week, you and Alice. I've been worried sick. I flew out yesterday. I'm here in Bright Falls.
Barry, listen to me. I'm at the sheriff's station. Come and get me. I can't talk now.
Ow! What the hell is going on?
I had to get the sheriff to let me go. I needed to get to Elderwood National Park to meet Alice's kidnappers. A writer is a light that reveals the world of his story from darkness, shapes it from nothingness. The way a sculptor carves a statue from a block of granite. If I stop, the world I'm making dies.
Marvelous, Sarah. I just wanted to settle all the damage the Anderson brothers might have inadvertently caused on their recent...
Are you feeling any better, Mr. Wake?
I'd like to leave. Am I free to go?
Well, we still need to talk about...
Am I under arrest?
No, of course not. But I need to know where you'll be staying so I can get in touch with you.
I'd avoid the motel. The Majestic is known for its roaches. The cabins at Elderwood are pretty nice, though.
That sounds perfect.
I'm Dr. Emil Hartman. I'd like to invite you to stay at Cauldron Lake Lodge.
Did you talk to my wife?
I had the pleasure of discussing your situation with her on several occasions.
Did you set something up with her?
I invited her here. My clinic is a place where...
Oh, hey! Oh my! Take it easy.
Hey, nobody move! Get your hands off of my client!
Who are you?
I'm Barry Wheeler, his agent. If you have business with Mr. Wake, you talk to me. You yokels won't know what hit you once I sick my lawyers on your asses.
No harm done, Sarah. I'm all right. I don't want to press charges. Mr. Wake, my offer still stands.
Get me out of here.
What the hell was that about, Al? We don't need a replay of that thing with the paparazzi. I thought they were gonna lock you up.
I had to talk to someone. I told Barry everything. He thought I was certifiable, but when he heard about the manuscript, I had him. The fact that I'd written something, even if I couldn't remember it, was enough for him. He smelled money. And he believed that Alice had been kidnapped. Anything beyond that was another story. I had a midnight appointment with the kidnapper in a place called Lover's Peak, somewhere in Elderwood National Park. The plan was to rent a cabin.
I don't like it, Al. I don't like any of it. It's not good. In fact, it's the absolute opposite of good.
Mr. Wake! Barry, you found him.
Hi, Rose.
Oh, wow. I was just thinking about you, too.
Great.
I was just bringing Rusty some coffee. He's on the balcony, looking after Max. Poor thing. I really need to go. Great to see you again, Mr. Wake. Later!
Who's Max?
What an airhead.
Jeez, Mr. Takes a swing at everybody. This is not her fault. She's a very nice girl and, more importantly, a fan.
Хорошо, подождите.
She even has a fan site dedicated to you. And she was very helpful when I was looking for you. Seriously, Al, what you were saying in the car, just listen to yourself. What, you shot a guy and his body just disappeared?
Wait here. Easy
Wait
there, boy.
here.
I'm almost done.
Hey, Rusty, right? You rent cabins.
Oh, Mr. Wake. I'd shake your hand, but mine are kind of full here. Actually, I'm sorry about this. Would you mind grabbing the registration form from the desk? It's just across from Bucktooth Charlie.
Okay, sure. What happened?
Crazy poachers. Max here got his foot caught in a trap. They're illegal to use here. Hell, you're not supposed to hunt within the park at all. But that doesn't stop some lowlifes. Well, at least Max is gonna be okay. He got lucky. Max is still groggy from the shot I gave him, and I'd rather
When was
not
the
leave
last
him
time you
alone
slept?
just yet.
What, are you
The
high?
phone's on
Have
the
you
desk
been
across from the
drinking?
mammoth skeleton.
No! Look, Barry, I'm missing a week, and someone's got Alice.
Do
and
you
everything's just...
understand what it sounds like when you say stuff like that? Don't get me wrong, it's a good story, could be a bestseller. But when you start confusing fiction with reality, you're buying yourself a ticket to the funny farm. Seriously, Al, you can't just go and meet a kidnapper. Those situations
Wait
always
here.
end up in disaster.
I think this is the form you wanted. And here are the keys. Okay, you're all set, Mr. Wake. Glad to have you staying here.
Thanks. Can you tell me how to get to Lover's Peak?
You gotta talk to the cops.
She's my wife, and it's my call. Can we talk about this later?
No, this whole thing is... Listen, you hit your head. I mean, geez, Al, come on. You gotta understand how crazy all this sounds. If you're trying to pull a joke on me, freak me out, it's working. Ha ha!
Ладно, наконец-то. Наконец, что-то крутое.
Al. Al? We should go to the sheriff or call the FBI.
Damn it, Barry, they'll kill her! This is not a goddamn debate, Barry. I'm going to Lover's Peak. He said to come alone.
Okay then. I understand. But you're my best friend and I'm worried that you're not right in the head. Tell me what to do to help and I'll do it.
You stay here, and if I'm not back by morning, call the cavalry.
Just be careful with the natives, Al. These yokels are dangerous. Everybody hates a tourist, or it'll be deliverance all over again.
Bless you.
Oh, this place is trying to kill me. I'll bet there's
Сюда
mold,
божественный
spores,
фонарик.
poison ivy, God knows what. This is so not worth a 15% commission.
Батарейки. Тоже нужны. О, револьвер тоже сюда.
Hold down the fort. I'll be with you in spirit every step of the way, Al. Watch the door now.
I knew I should have gone to the cops. This wasn't the smartest thing I'd ever done, but I was still angry with Barry for trying to talk me out of it. These people had called me right in the sheriff's station. The cops wouldn't scare them, and they had Alice.
Это что такое?
Welcome back to the show, folks. As promised, our very own Dr. Nelson has just parked his rear end in the studio. Doc, what's your Deerfest plan like? My plan? You'll make it sound a lot more organized than I ever seem to manage.
Как ты упал в действии? На ступеньках. А вот это тоже не очень. О, гопнем. Окей, нормально. Телек.
Crime and punishment. The cancer and cure of civilization. But some crimes are impossible to punish, especially.
А тут чё? Тоже страница. И больше ничего. Жаль.
The vision left me weak. This was no head injury.
Mr. Wake? Oh, hell. It happened just the way it was on that page. I found. Came true. It knew. So dark. It'll come back for me. You must... The lights. In the office. I have the key.
Okay, Rusty. Hang on. I'll be right back. Whatever did this couldn't be far. Rusty had found a page from the manuscript. It would help me understand what had happened.
А, кстати, вот это было... Нет, открыть нельзя, ладно. А свет в кабинете включается. Вот это что ли кабинет его? Нет, не тут. Вон там где-то. По карте это где-то прямо. Вон там, видимо, да.
The only way to make sure that Rusty was safe was to get the power running and the lights back on. I was too late. Someone had destroyed the circuit breaker. There was no way to get the lights back on. Rusty! Rusty! The ground was covered with oily patches that looked like liquid darkness.
Hunters need hunting licenses.
Something had torn a mammoth-sized hole in the wall.
Please don't feed the animals.
Obey!
The Park Ranger's instructions.
At all times.
Rusty? Rusty, no!
Fishing! For those creatures of park. License never.
Go closer than 100 yards.
To bears and wolves, never approach. Closer than
25 yards.
pets must be leashed.
Leave your pet unattended.
Is
Against the law.
to remove any
Natural objects
or historical artifacts from the park.
grounds.
This includes even
Rocks.
you may
Lying along the river.
or even simple berries.
Ой, офигенно, почти все патроны потратил на него. Ой, круто было.
What the hell was that? I saw from the window. I saw something.
Forget about it, Barry. It's just me going crazy.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. You're not crazy. I wish you were crazy, but you're not crazy. Ow, be careful.
Stay in the cabin. Don't open the door for anyone. I mean it. Lover's Peak was at the far end of the nature trail.
А сюда, если пойти. Ладно. Не надо, надо на другое место. Опа. Пинг-пинг. Офигенно. На топ можно менять вид. Ну, типа, наверное, лучше будет. Не, типа, слева каноничные, типа. Как-то. Слева необычнее, вот чё. Так, я бы точно туда и бегу. Реверспик. Да, туда ловерспик. Чью топор пролетел. Минус патроны. Ай. Спидраним. Блин. Че? Блин. Не получилось заспидранить. Ну ладно. Блин, типа, где патроны можно найти, я не видел. А тут что было, кстати? Да? Я пропустил дробовик, оказывается. Офигеть. Ой, блин, еще один гадок. Блин. Надо офигеть, как экономить патроны. Офигеть просто. Да ну, не может быть, чтобы патронов не было нигде. Где должно быть разбросано патроны? Просто я их не вижу пока. Marian. Фух. И опять такая же история, что патроны закончились. Где-то не должно быть. Короче, я понял, весь секрет в том, что надо это самое. В голову стрелять как можно больше. Блин. Все теперь должны добежать нормально. Если он бежит, значит все нормально, мы всех зачистили. Облегчение прямо. Энерджайзер. Топорик. Опачки. Опачки. Опять гадок отряд. Да блин, опять патроны закончились. Алло. Нереально, почему? Блин. Не, ну все, типа, я больше не могу. Да. Стрим получился коротким, но пофигу.